Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Formula One Fans UK podcast. I'm Reese and I'm joined today by...
Danny.
And Dan.
There was a hesitation there as neither Danny or Dan knew who came first in the alphabet again. So...
I always let Danny go first and then it's like, oh, you should have gone first, and then I go first and Danny should have gone first. So I was like, I'll just let Danny go first because I don't want to upset the American tonight. Because we've apparently upset the Irish person because he's a no-show.
I think he's a no-show because of the result, shall we say.
Maybe he's crying and needs his nappy change because he's thrown his toys out the pram or something similar.
Ooh. So yeah, we're going uncut again this week. So
yeah,
Chris, if you want to punch someone, make sure it's Dan. Not me or Danny, because, yeah.
I scared the living SHIT out of my kids when I screamed at the TV. They thought I was physically dying.
And I woke up people in the house. Woke up the dogs when Vettel's tire blew, so. Verstappen's tires blew, I'm sorry.
Oh, Danny, fact check, bruv. Come on now.
Damn. American with fake news. Who would have known?
Hey, I just make stuff up until it becomes true, which has happened. So... I'm good.
So I guess the main talking point from the race is what's going on with those left rear tyres?
I will go first. Didn't Pirelli change the PSI range on the tyres this week, didn't they?
They changed the pressures, and they also went a compound softer.
A compound softer as well. Yeah, I know I'm one of these people that it's like there's always a conspiracy somewhere or whatever, but I think Pirelli messed up. I think it was to happen on two different cars on the same side. I think there's either something dodgy with the Pirelli tires, or they were running something different, or something that they shouldn't have been. I guess we'll find out because obviously the race has only been done for a couple of hours. We'll find out after the podcast, I guess, with the investigations and stuff.
Yeah, I mean the consensus from Pirelli though is they don't know what's caused it. But both Red Bull and Aston Martin said they had no warning, so it does just look like it's a tyre failure. Danny?
Well, the nature of Azerbaijan, Baku, is you have a lot of those left-hand turns, and they're usually at higher speeds than the right-hand turns that track has to offer. I just think it was a combination of the cars, the tires, and I just can't rule out debris in that racetrack. That track is notorious for collecting debris and cutting someone up.
Yeah. I don't think Pirelli got it wrong with the choice of compounds. I think they got it wrong with the advice of how long the tyres would last, because from choice of compounds, it looked like you did have an option of a one-stop or a two-stop. If you wanted one-stop, you had to go medium hard. If you wanted two-stop, you'd go soft, hard, soft. But there was so I think that the compound choice was right, but their calculations must have been off because two very, very similar failures at the scariest part of the track. And Verstappen crashing at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. That's a big change from obviously what you predicted to what they were actually running. That's a big deficit. Do you think they got it that wrong?
I wouldn't be surprised.
From someone that's been doing tyres for this long?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, bring back Bridgestone.
Bring back Tyre Wars.
Or at least...
Tyre War again.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Bring back... Because we've got engine wars, and we've got now apparently... what do you call them? Team principal wars. So why not bring back tyre wars?
Well, I think if we had two separate tyre manufacturers, that would be great. I mean, you can't have a different tyre manufacturer per constructor, because then you really would have someone at an advantage, because someone's going to get it right, someone's going to get it wrong. Could you imagine going out on a pair of Haas tyres?
They probably wouldn't even make it to the racetrack.
They'll probably use Ferraris.
Yeah. Well, as long as they don't use their strategists. But in a season where a lot's changing in Formula One. There was always a consistency you can rely on of Haas messing up a pit stop.
Mm.
Yeah, they messed up.
Yeah, like Mix. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was a sensor because the tyre guy, he put his hand up. He was good to go. Like, he was convinced it was on.
Yeah, well, once again, it wasn't on. And, they ballsed up.
Wow. All I can say is good luck to NASCAR because they're moving to a single wheel nut and apparently for no issues. We'll see.
Yeah, well, if anyone watched Indy, no issues isn't always. They released. Who was it they released into the race at Indy? Went straight off coming out pit row.
My memory only goes one day back. I'm terrible.
Danny, who was it who got released? And the rear wheel came off.
Was Danny even there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to figure it out.
We come to you for these things in America because you're American.
I know.
We don't come to you for your education system or your spelling.
Raul? Was it Raul? Raul? Is that his
Rahul?
Grant Raul. Yeah, Raul.
Yeah.
Rahul.
Yeah.
And I mean, if NASCAR if IndyCar and Formula One are the peak motorsport and they're struggling with pitting tyres, and I hate to see how NASCAR get on.
Well, just ask Bottas how confident he is on the single wheel nut.
I think if anything, if you ask Bottas how confident he is on anything at the moment, the answer is not at all.
Well, exactly.
Should we talk about the curious case of Valtteri Bottas and as someone who seemed like a competent number 2 driver, able to step in when his teammate was struggling, albeit very rarely, is now being gapped like it's Verstappen and Albon or Verstappen and Gasly.
He's just absolutely bottled it. Bottas has bottled it. He's fell off. I don't know what's happened, whether Russell started playing mind games with him, started tweeting him, texting him, saying, like, the seat's mine, don't mess up. Mental mind games and stuff like this. But he's dropped off. Like, I think when we started these podcasts, we were defending him, going, he's a good number 2. That's all Lewis needs, is someone that can keep the guys back, but stay up there with him. And that's all that Max needs. Max needs a number 2. Well, no, Max needs a new tyre, and Bottas needs to go back to Williams.
Yeah, Max has got a number 2 now. Perez is more than capable of everything, but Bottas is what has gone on? I mean, he's not been the same since the crash at Imola, or not. Even since sort of the start of the race in Imola, because he had no pace whatsoever. Because he looked good in Bahrain, and then, of course, they had the.
He also looked good in Portugal.
Did he?
Yeah, he qualified and he got pole.
Yeah, but he got pole, but then what happened in the race?
He ended up in 3rd.
Yeah, he got jumped twice, and he couldn't defend. I mean,
what race was that?
In Portugal, Bottas, he just
in Portugal, yeah, I think he came 3rd.
He came 3rd, yeah, but what happened? He got overtaken. He got overtaken on track by both Hamilton and Verstappen, and he offered as much protection as an expired condom when he was going to defend those places.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, because he just breezed past him. He didn't even hold him up, I don't think, at all. Not even for a corner.
Yeah, even with Max,
he just breezed right past him. Yeah.
And then of course he looked good in Monaco, and then the wheel nut. He just can't buy any luck because I mean, even this weekend, he couldn't even get out of Finland on a private plane.
Well, we've had, what was this? Was this the 6th race? Sixth race?
Yeah.
And he's only been on the podium 3 times. Like, you expect more from,
If you said he'd been on the podium 3 times, but the other 3 times it was Perez on the podium, and it was the other 3 drivers from the top teams, you can maybe go, that's excusable. But you've got McLaren's getting podiums, Ferrari's on podiums, AlphaTauri's on podiums. It's not like your direct competition is taking that only a place and you're finishing 4th. You are nowhere. Valtteri Bottas is nowhere at the moment.
Can I offer a different opinion?
Of course, Danny.
Okay, so I just think Bottas has been very unlucky. Here, I'm probably going to be his defender today. But
Your turn.
Monaco, he was in second place. No pun intended. Monaco, he was second place before the tire situation, the wheel nut situation. In Spain, he did end up in third. Portugal, he ended up in third. Emilia Romagna, yeah, he had his crash with Russell and ended up in third in Bahrain. He's just been really unlucky. If he didn't have those issues, if he even would have stayed or scored points in those races that he missed, he would have been sitting in a solid third.
Was he third in Bahrain? I thought Norris was third in Bahrain.
Was it?
I'll have to Google it now.
Bottas had the fastest lap. No, Bottas.
He was third. Yeah, third in that.
He was third
But
in Bahrain.
he was nearly 40 seconds or something behind.
Oh,
I
that's
think.
that's because
He's podium Bahrain, Portugal, and Spain this year.
So to be fair, right? So if you take the wheel nut incident, that takes it to 4. You take the fact that, and take the fact that George doesn't think he's playing Mario Kart and he's playing F1. That's 5. So yeah, okay, I buy into your theory.
No. Emilia Romagna, he was nowhere. He was nowhere. He was being done on pace by a Williams, and then he crashed with it.
But
and today he was being done on pace by an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah,
almost by the Williams. He almost got caught by Russell.
Yeah, until Russell. What happened to Russell at the restart? Does anyone know what actually happened to Russell at the restart? He just sort of pulled off and disappeared.
Yeah.
This is open. I'll hold my hands up. After Lewis went off, I just threw a paddy and walked out the room. I come back to Checo winning.
I like how you accused Chris of not showing up
winning.
because of a tantrum over Lewis, and then you've gone and just admitted that you had a tantrum over
Yeah,
Lewis.
No, it wasn't really a tantrum. It was more despair and upset in the fact that you can't even put your brakes on to reach a corner, but you can get paid 90 million for 3 years. So it's disappointing.
It was the Magic. The Magic was still on.
Yeah, the Magic. Yeah, well, the Magic didn't really help, did it, Lewis?
Shall we talk about the Magic?
Create the Magic.
Shall we talk about the Magic?
Let's talk about the Magic.
Can we just breeze over it? We
Davidson
don't really have to.
Anthony Davidson can't talk about the Magic. Did you guys on the broadcast? He wouldn't talk about it.
Was it Anthony Davidson or was it Ted Kravitz? Well, no, Anthony Davidson wouldn't talk about it, and Ted Kravitz went, "No, this is what it does." I mean, it's no surprise. It's a mode that gets more heat into the brakes. So when he tried to slow down, the brakes were too hot. But we in our Discord we do a poll after races where stuff happens. So we didn't do it at Monaco.
So nothing happened in Monaco.
Nothing happened in Monaco because we couldn't do it. We do this thing called Twat on the Track, which is pretty much who balls up the biggest, or what was the biggest balls up of the weekend. So we had the options this week were Pirelli with the tyres and how they called the tyre duration or durability, Hamilton's magic button, and Michael Massey's slow safety car call-outs, which Leclerc rightly called him out on, going, well, why is there no safety car already? But the winner was Hamilton. And I couldn't...
All the haters.
Maybe the haters. I mean, even me as a Hamilton fan went, no, Hamilton magic button. I mean, that's a stupid thing to do. That's like when...
He called it out immediately.
Did I leave the magic button on? Yes, you did, Lewis.
Just letting everybody know that there's the magic button.
Oh, it was all there for the taking. He got the better start, and he just had to turn in and drive away from Perez, who was already managing an issue. And instead, straight off.
He magicked it. He magically screwed it up.
Yeah.
I could lie. I had the text messages ready to my buddies saying, "Here you go, another Hamilton win," despite despite losing the lead and his issue in a pit stop. Here's another Hamilton win, but magically it disappeared.
I was watching it with my dad, and my reaction is was the same as Toto Wolff. So Lewis went through, and I was like, "Yes, Lewis!" And I was like, "Oh no!" I don't think I even managed to finish the words "Yes, Lewis" before the "Oh no" came out.
It kind of reminded me when, like, in those instances where a goal's scored, but it bounces back out and it's disallowed, or something like that. It was just stupid.
Goal's gone in, and he's offside.
Top bar.
Sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, it was such a stupid mistake from a multi-world champion of F1 that does it make you look forward to the sprint races coming up, or kind of think that they're all going to be a balls up?
You see, I was thinking sprint races. Oh god, these are gonna suck. It's gonna be the same guys at the front driving away, and we get nothing extra from it apart from just an extra 20 laps or whatever to go towards what we would usually see on a Sunday. Whereas today, I'm like, well, anyone could balls up from the starters. Anyone could go off. Anyone could crash. And as we saw with Leclerc and Gasly, you can get wheel to if it's a good track, you can get wheel to wheel and overtake the same, and just cause 2 overtakes in one straight between you.
Mm.
But I believe that's track dependent.
It will be track dependent. Yeah, imagine a sprint race in Monaco.
Well, yeah. What would be the point? You might as well just let them play the F1 game. It'd be more interesting. But my only problem is, since the very beginning of this announcement, is it going to cause drivers to drive erratically to get points quickly and cause damage to their cars, etc., which then impacts the whole F1 feature race on a Sunday?
If you want to drive erratically, then go for it and risk your own race. But it's risk reward, isn't it? You can launch it up the inside and be fine, or you can launch it up the inside, get caught by someone else turning in, have a puncture, and wind up starting the actual Grand Prix from the back.
Mm.
I just don't like. I think if this season was, if they did that last season, I'd be like all for it. But this season, the title fight is so tight, it's not worth. It could be a gimmick that just decides the title.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. I think we discussed that when we discussed the sprint races as well. Like, how are you going to feel as a driver if you win or lose by 1 sprint point? If you're the winner, you're praising sprint races. If you're the loser, you're like, well, this is a crock of shit. It's not even valid. Yeah, it's gonna cause issues. It's the same thing we had with double points and all that shit. I don't understand why we can't just have a set race points per race. That's it. 23 races or whatever, and then that's it. Just leave it out how it is.
No, I agree.
That was just part of Bernie's magic. Bernie's ideas.
Hey, mate, Bernie is too busy for ideas now. Man's at DIY.
I still think his wetting the track idea is pretty decent.
Yeah,
Probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
With his home-based sprinkler systems, he's good to go.
And we say home-based sprinklers. Home-based don't sponsor us, so other sprinkler systems are available.
Oh yeah, it was B&Q actually, wasn't it? Yeah, B&Q.
Either way,
home-based,
other sprinkler systems are available.
all of them.
However, when it comes to 3D printed track art, there is only one place you can go.
And where's that?
That is apextracks.com. Once again, this week's podcast is sponsored by Apex Tracks 3D printed track wall art. To get your choice of track wall art from anywhere, any point in the calendar, and pretty much anywhere in the world, they've got loads. Head to apextracks.com. That's apextraxs.com. Well, I nailed the sponsorship this week. Only one take. And
that's it. And we can, if you want to see what they're like, obviously we've got them on their Facebook page and stuff. And I believe has the winner posted up yet? That
no, we have a new one which Chris is another winner that Chris is sending off.
Yeah. So it's not a fake. We're actually giving them away.
I know.
It's not a gimmick. People are getting them.
We're giving them away.
I'm sure
we're raffling off a Rosberg hat as well. A signed
Yes,
Mercedes hat.
2016 F1 champion Nico Rosberg, or
2016 F1 champion.
entrepreneur Rosberg, or brand
YouTuber.
ambassador. That's it, a
YouTuber, guy who's capable
He
of crashing at Monaco and not destroying his race chances to get himself pole position.
Take notes, Charlie.
and starting is it Extreme E
Yeah, that's it.
Owner.
owner as well, along with Lewis Hamilton as well.
Lewis Hamilton, Jensen Button, as well as
Yeah.
in that.
And he's also an ice cream connoisseur.
I thought you were going somewhere a bit darker with that, Danny. If I'm honest, like you had some inside news.
What is going for so is the time left to enter that raffle. So, I mean, at the time of recording this, there are less than 7 days now to enter. So, get on and enter if you haven't. Anyway, should we get back to the race? And some topics we haven't covered yet. My phone has frozen. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. I mean, thank God for those tyre blowouts, by the way, because it was looking like a rubbish race. It was, I mean, it needed something.
Yeah, we were robbed from the first pit stop, where Mercedes apparently can't change tyres in under less than 4 seconds.
Well, no, they did.
I'm
but
only
it was Gasly
joking,
came
Danny.
in.
Yeah, it just I did laugh at the time though. I thought, the cheeky Red Bull second team have like sneakily like, right, just go in now, block it off. He'll have to hold him up, and then the Red Bulls can go. But yeah, at that point, we were robbed of a better race until
That was on Mercedes anyway.
Yeah.
The fact that they had to hold him, because if they got that pit stop
Yeah.
done half a second faster, they could have got him out in front. And so they had to wait for a second.
yeah.
And I also think Mercedes were tricked into pitting that early.
Oh, because the Red Bull threw the dummy, didn't they? They threw the one dummy you're allowed every race.
I did think that Red Bull were going to get dummied by Mercedes to pit, by Lewis going, I can't possibly overtake anybody with these tyres. I'm going to have to come and get new tyres. And then we didn't have to worry about anybody pitting for new tyres because there was another tyre explosion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there were.
Sorry, alleged explosion.
It
Could
was
have
a
been.
tyre blowout. It was a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no debris. They had no warning. So it's not like they
Well,
just hit a piece of...
it's either that or the Russians are getting very good at left tyres.
Oh, yes, the Russians are they're still sniping out the tyres.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they
got two this race. You wait, maybe 5 more, and they'll be able to get Mazepin in the points.
If there's any Russian snipers in the podcast, if you want to confirm my belief, can we go front left this time, please? You wait. Front left tires are gonna go bang now, and then I'm.
Well, it was the Russians were always going to go for the left, weren't they?
Oh.
Political. Quick,
No,
get
but
back to Formula One.
True.
Get back to Formula
No.
One.
True story. If the front left goes in the next race, this will be my last podcast. I just want to say thank you now if I have to go, because I'm moving.
Russia or into
As
hiding?
far away from Russia. Into hiding, yeah. I'm going into hiding.
I think Danny's far enough away from Russia. You can go live with Danny.
No, they're in Washington D.C.
Yeah. I don't know where we go. Should we talk about Perez?
Winner.
Winner, chicken dinner, as they say in Indy, for some reason. I mean,
Or as Vettel said, Merry Christmas. Was it Merry Christmas?
Feliz Navidad,
Merry Christmas.
as he's
Something
Spanish.
like that, yeah. As discussed in our pre-podcast warm-up. Yeah, it's you can't help but feel good for him winning, because he was starting to, we were starting to doubt whether he belonged at Red Bull, really. He hasn't really been performing, and it's just been Max, Lewis. But now he's come out and be like, right, as soon as you guys make a mistake or you're not on your game, that's it. I'm coming for it. That's it. I'm coming for the pole.
And that is exactly what Perez had to do.
Mm.
Perez had to come in, and every time it wasn't there for Hamilton, or wasn't there for Bottas, or wasn't there for Verstappen, pick up the pieces. Be there within a pit stop where he can make life difficult for a Mercedes, where he can get ahead of a Mercedes, which is what he did today. He got the overcut on Lewis.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And this is typical of Perez's career. Every podium that he's won and races that he's won, there's usually a big mistake in the track, and he's always there to pick up the pieces. So him having that second seat at Red Bull with a fast car, he should be picking up more of these opportunities, and we'll be seeing that more, hopefully.
Yeah.
But if Bottas keeps making these mistakes, and obviously, I don't think he's gonna even have to worry about being up there anymore. To be fair, I think we're going to see George up there battling with the top four.
I feel that if he's going to go somewhere, why wouldn't he end up in a... I don't think he'll go to a Williams, though. Bottas, I think if he's going to end up somewhere, he might become new Raikkonen.
At
Alfa Romeo. I mean...
That is possible. Because I doubt there's many deals that are not multi-year deals now. Obviously, without fact-checking every single driver. But obviously, with the regulation changes in 2022, most of them are going to be on multi-year deals, apart from a few.
Mm.
So, yeah. But, yeah, you don't really want to go back to you don't want to go from the best team at the front to the one at the back just in one season.
Yeah.
And currently, they are the worst team right now because Haas has jumped up in the standings with their 13th and 14th place today.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Haas are ahead of Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Oh, man, that's rough. That's
Actually,
rough.
Speaking about who was ahead of who and all this sort of stuff, what went on with Alpine today? What was that all about?
Well, Ocon just had a failure, and Vettel and Alonso. I mean, he didn't have a bad race. It's just, was he sixth in the end?
Yeah, he ended up in sixth.
He ended up in sixth. He started eighth. He gained 2 places. 2 cars that crashed out were ones that started ahead of him. Really, he just sort of held station, Alonso. But when you're in the points, or you qualify in the point scoring positions, holding station's really all you need to do. Because I think for Alpine, I think they're battling really with Aston Martin for 5th in the constructors this year, and AlphaTauri. I think that's what you're looking at. I mean, you've got Mercedes, Red Bull 1 and 2. They're fighting for those positions. 3 and 4 is Ferrari and McLaren.
Yeah.
After that, 5th place, and you've got probably a 3-way fight for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alpine. What was it? I'm trying to remember the other teams. Alpine, Aston Martin,
AlphaTauri.
So that's your 7 teams.
Williams.
So yeah, so Alfa Romeo are really on the league of their own. Well, I say league of their own. They're in their own sort of Verstappen area where no one's close to being in front or no one's close to being behind them, really, when you think about where they should finish in the point scoring this season. They should be at 8th, and they shouldn't really be higher. They shouldn't really be lower. And then you've got Williams and Haas, and or shall we even say Haas and Williams, because I can't, the fact you've said that is actually upsetting me. The fact that Haas, the team that didn't even really build a car for this year, are ahead of Williams. It's actually upsetting.
Yeah. That's rough.
It's rough.
That's rough.
Yeah, but it didn't help with Russell not having he had the DNF. That didn't help situations.
If you're breaking down, though, you're breaking down. One thing you can say about Haas this season is they've had one retirement, and that was because Mazepin put it in the wall after 3 corners. Other than that, they finished everything. And
decent performances from them in Monaco.
Williams haven't. Latifi hasn't even finished a race on the lead lap this season. Oh, no, actually, he might have done today. He might have done today, actually. It's
frustrating. Yeah, he did finish. He was very far behind. Last place if you count all the DNFs.
He had to do a stop-go penalty, didn't he? 10-second stop-go.
Yeah, but see, right, this is what really annoys me, right? I know the whole we win as a team, we lose as a team, and all this sort of stuff, right? But it wasn't his decision to keep going, to not go through the pits. It was obviously whoever instructed him on the radio.
Yeah, it was some pretty poor.
It is poor. You know, these are multi-$100 million teams that should know this stuff.
But shouldn't Latifi know that as well?
Well, Latifi should have seen everyone else going through the pits, and all of a sudden he heard the word "stay out."
Yeah.
I mean, if I hear the word "stay out," I'm thinking, "Hang on, what's going on?" Okay, I'll stay out.
That's it. Yeah, you stay out, and then because I think on the radio he did say, "Why are we out?" Like, you know, what's the reason?
He said, "Oh no. When I said stay out, I meant don't come into the pit box." Well.
No.
What? Why would you say? Why wouldn't you just say, "Okay, driving through the pit lane, do not stop in the pit box," rather than going stay out just before the pit stop?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Or pit lane even.
Sorry, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and you've heard instructions. Last year, we had a lot of red flag stoppages. That never happened, and drivers were given clear instructions where to stop. So I just don't know why that muddled message was given out like that.
Very poor. Very poor.
As strategists and directions go, it was a peak Ferrari moment, except for Ferrari are looking good on a Saturday. Another pole position, another red flag, granted, but if you're getting that first run right, then good for you, Leclerc.
I was going to say about Ferrari, they're now in third in the standings, ahead of McLaren.
Big movements.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right, was anybody just waiting in the news for something to happen with Charles's car, like some freak reason that he can't start on the pole again? I'm just like, he's just not destined to get a pole and start on the pole. But then when they were like, you know, literally up until 5 minutes to the race, I was like, right, Charles is good. We're good, Charles. Don't fluff it up.
I was going to go back, and I wanted to go back and say something about Perez, the winner of the race, that he is the first driver in the turbo hybrid era that has a win with 2 different constructors, 2 different teams. He's the only driver. Just an obscure fact I wanted to mention today.
That's a good point.
Hamilton, Mercedes, Bottas, Mercedes, Verstappen, Red Bull, all in the same team. Vettel, Ferrari, Leclerc, Ferrari. Raikkonen with Ferrari, Ricciardo with Red Bull only. Yeah. Perez is the only one.
Damn you, Danny. Chucking out such strong facts without time to...
having to check them.
Yeah, in time having to check them. So now we're just running on faith with Danny.
Another something I kind of like to do, just pull up random facts. But another one, well, this one's kind of obvious, but every driver in the podium today was displaced by their team. Vettel was out at Ferrari, Perez out at Racing Point Aston Martin, and Gasly and Red Bull 2 years ago. Yeah, so it's pretty neat to see that podium.
And with Vettel, though, I think the thing is with him, everyone is secretly a Vettel fan these days.
I just think we like to see him succeed.
You still like seeing Vettel succeed? I like seeing him do well. I thought I can't stand Vettel when he was
at this point of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point of his career, everyone's a Vettel fan.
Yeah, but I think it's the same as we had, as a lot of people with Lewis have now. They're like, oh, he only wins because he's in the fastest car. It's no skill, it's just the car. And that's what everyone was saying when Red Bull were winning everything. Oh, it's just the car. It's not him. But it isn't. You have to have talent and skill to drive the car. It's as simple as that. But to see him actually back on a podium and back winning a race, or okay, albeit a very strange race.
When did Vettel win a race?
Oh wait, no, mate.
Podium.
Shit,
no,
Dan's like, oh no, shit, I didn't fact check myself. Fuck.
No, it's not fact checking myself. I'm trying to say something, and I'm getting
Vettel's
confused.
not won a race since 2019, where he won one race.
No, right. What I'm saying is, it's good to see him back on a podium after all of the crap that he had at Ferrari and all that sort of stuff. It's good to see him back on a podium. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, and you are secretly hoping that he's going to do well, because he's gone to this team as kind of a second driver, I would say, because they're putting all their money on Stroll because he's daddy's little boy. You know?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I think Vettel is now the top guy in that team. Like,
he has to be.
He's the last 3 races. He's beaten Stroll the last 3 races, and he was comfortably better at Monaco. I mean, he pulled off a great strategy, and then also with today, Stroll, of course, unfortunate to crash in the wall, but Stroll had to pit still when he came in. Vettel was getting up there on pace. He was up there on pace. The commentators were talking about how he could be a threat to Hamilton on pace.
He was 5th after pits, right?
He was third. He was 4th when the red flag came out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. He was 4th. He was 4th just before Verstappen crashed.
So when did he overtake Gasly?
He did it quite early in the race, because Gasly was going, "Oh my god, how is this possible?"
Yeah, okay, calm down, Gasly. Like, come on, a dodgy qualifying put you up where you shouldn't have been, so you should just be thankful.
You say that where he shouldn't have been, but he finished 3rd.
He finished 3rd.
I'm not debating that. You know, come the end of it, he's done really well. I'm not saying that, but they are, you know, meant to be 6th and 7th kind of place. You know, like you said earlier. But you know, there are these freak events that obviously happen, and all the sort of stuff where you see people like Norris on the podium. You see people like Leclerc getting up there and stuff like that, and you know, it's just what it is. But that dodgy qualifying,
dodgy qualifying put Hamilton in 2nd.
Yeah, dodgy qualifying put Hamilton in 2nd, and Verstappen 3rd, and Leclerc 1st. And I mean, Tsunoda was ahead of Alonso and all those things. I mean, it wasn't a dodgy qualifying, mate. It was just qualifying in Baku. Expect a red flag. It's a street circuit.
Yeah, I'm not.
Did they not learn anything from last week? Make sure you're further along your lap than the Ferraris.
Are we just going to make that a rule for 2021? Just be further along, so red flags don't hinder your last lap.
Yeah, try and get across the line before the red flag comes out.
Well, to be fair, it's getting to the point we might have to send the Hasses and the Ferraris out just on their own as a little warm up, and then everyone else can run after.
And Tsunoda.
Oh yeah, but then he'd just moan because he wouldn't want to be out there.
Yuki, you need to go faster. I'm going as fast.
Yeah,
He's screaming down the microphone. It's just
it sounded.
Shut up! I am going fast.
It reminded me of when they told Raikkonen to go fast, and he's like, "Shut up, let me drive.
Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
Leave me alone." Yeah. It's to be fair, isn't that why they come up with hammer time, wasn't it, for Lewis? Because he was pissed off with keep being told to go faster.
Just use up your tyres, hammer time. Use up your tyres, which is strange because they always said hammer time after he said the tyres were gone. So
Yeah, but that's all mind games. It's all mind games. Oh, my tires are wrong. Oh, my tires can't possibly pass anybody. Let's go set a fastest second and third sector.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Just try to think, because is there anyone we haven't covered? Perez, Vettel,
Gasly,
Gasly, Leclerc. We did
third podium
Gasly.
for Gasly.
Just
Third
spoke
podium
about
for
Gasly,
him.
and Dan said it was all just luck. Just
Yeah.
discrediting a brilliant drive from him, and Dan's going, "Oh no, just luck."
No, no, no. Right. I'm not saying it wasn't a good drive by Gasly, because I do like Gasly, and we said before in one of the other podcasts, we were completely, outraged by how Red Bull did him dirty and sent him back, and then promoted Albon and all that sort of stuff. Just that Red Bull mentality of you're either hot for the second and we like you, or you're going back to Toro Rosso. But what about Norris? He got fifth, and that Ferrari was still able to get fourth. And then
He got
Alonso,
fifth, and he had an absolute nightmare
and then
after
Alonso
the first
in
restart,
P6
because he went
as
back
well.
to like
So
13th.
yeah, it was a very mixed top 10. Like you got Kimi Räikkönen in 10th.
Hello.
It was a quality race.
Or that, should we run through the rest of the cars? Norris, of course, fifth, had his dramas.
If he didn't have that penalty, could have had a podium today.
Could have had a win.
Just another stupid mistake again.
But no, I don't think that was. I think that was. I don't agree with that penalty. I think he did the right thing. I think it was sensible to go out and start another lap, because he was going too fast to dive into the pit lane when that red flag came out. And it was in the safety of everyone, including the driver, to just eat up another lap and drive around. I mean, it's not like he was setting a time or anything. He was like, red flag, okay. Just drive around slow, avoid the accidents, and play it safe.
But that's why we have these so-called, set in stone rules, isn't it?
Yeah.
But apparently not.
So yeah, Alonso 6th, we spoke about. Tsunoda 7th. Bit of a bounce back. Is he another Lance Stroll, who's just good where it's point and squirt, and he won't have another good race until Monza?
No. I think he just figured it. I think he put it all together in this race. He had a great first race. He had probably a reality check in his middle races, including that DNF. And now he's probably just calmed down a little bit more and put it all together. But it was a strong showing by him.
Yeah.
Strong showing by Yuki.
Carlos Sainz.
And obviously... Wait, hold on. I was just trying to say, obviously... and you think he's driving with Gasly, and Gasly's showing what you can do with that car. So he's... I think he's learning from the other side of the garage a bit more. I think he's looking at the data a bit more. He's looking at what can be done with the car, and he's found a way to make it work for him instead of trying to work against the car. He's consistently over the Friday, Saturday, Sunday getting a lot better. So I'm still on the Tsunoda hype train.
At least one of us still is. Carlos Sainz, it was all looking quite good until he locked up at turn 8 or turn whatever, just before the castle section, and had to find reverse. But he found reverse very quick for an F1 car.
Yeah, very quick.
Yeah, 2 seconds, I think.
Which was impressive. And he bounced back well. 8th place, points. Finished above Ricciardo. Good for the constructors for them. Ricciardo 9th. Finally in the points. Bit fortunate maybe with two of the cars that, of course, Hamilton and Verstappen both being out, and that meaning two cars that would definitely be in the points weren't in the points.
Would have ended up 11th.
It would have ended up 11th.
Probably
exactly.
12th. Probably
He would have
12th with Stroll.
12.
Stroll didn't crash out either.
And Ocon.
Nah.
Because if Alonso was up in 6th, you've got to believe Ocon would have been around about there as well.
True.
Probably podium.
Lando maybe on the
Pro.
podium as well.
Yeah, there's so many.
So many things could have gone differently today, but thankfully they didn't because I think everyone liked the podium. I also like that Kimi Räikkönen got points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Antonio Giovinazzi's looking like the new Esteban Gutierrez, where he just wants to finish just outside the points.
11th.
11th. Bottas we've spoken about.
Ugh.
Schumacher.
We're not
Schumacher. This was a nice little thing, as you probably saw. You might see at the end of the race, apart from Dan, who was throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
That Schumacher on the very last straight, he got past Mazepin. He got Mazepin pretty much meters before the line, beaten by under a tenth of a second. But once again, Mazepin, pretty much an error-free race. He had his lock-up and went deep once and reversed. But other than that, good enough race.
You guys see the camera pointed up to the fans up on the balcony? And as soon as he crashed out, the faces that they made. The surprised faces. I was like, oh, it's too funny. But
then,
there was no fans, was there?
No,
at
but there
this
were just
race?
people in the balconies.
Yeah, but it's like, how good would it have been to just live over the racetrack? Just
Oh yeah.
great. Just have a party all weekend in Baku with no tourists to ruin it.
And then after the Hasses, Hamilton and Latifi, we spoke about both of those.
Yeah, let's not talk about any more about that.
And how we don't need to talk about that anymore because
No.
Dan's going to cry, I'm going to cry, and Danny's probably going to cry too. And then the DNFs: Russell, Verstappen, Stroll, Ocon.
Oof. Rough.
It's rough for all three of them. I'm not gonna lie. Or for all four of them. Max would have won hands down. You can't take it away from him. I think that would have been it. But then saying that, actually thinking about it, if he hadn't have got the failure, do you think there would have been any chance of anything happening outside of that? Do you think? Do you think he would have just continued to check out?
It
do you
looked
think there would have been
comfortable.
some strategy?
It just all looked quite comfortable for Red Bull.
Because it's just one of them things, isn't it? Obviously, when it happens, you start thinking of all the scenarios that could have gone on behind it. But there's definitely an issue with that tire, so they need to fix that, because we can't have more blowouts and stuff like this throughout the whole season.
Well, that hard today would have been soft on what track?
Probably France,
I-
because they balls up every time with France and they make everything possible to make it worse. So Baku had a lot riding on it this week, and it's done well.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
really,
Thank you, Baku.
Yeah, but I think after Monaco, any race would have been good. Just with a little bit of controversy. Just anything really to happen.
Yeah. Funny thing, this race could have been almost as boring as Monaco.
Yeah, until as I said earlier, it's a good thing Stroll's tyre blew up, because otherwise it would have been a boring race.
Thank you to the Russians for a good race.
Thank you, Baku.
Thank you, Russian snipers. And with that, shall we? I think we'll bring it to an end, as the NASCAR's about to start.
6 more minutes.
6 more minutes.
Can I also say Perez is 32 points away from Hamilton in second.
Yeah, that's not a threat. What is a threat is a Russian sniper. And with that,
They are.
with that,
You joke, but they are.
they are. And with that,
Yeah, they are.
we'll bring it to an end. We hope to be back soon with another episode. That is, if we haven't all been taken out by Russian snipers, because they are dangerous. So, until next time, everyone, stay safe, enjoy yourselves, enjoy racing, and yeah, we'll catch up with you soon. Beware of Russian snipers. Cheerio, guys.
See you guys.
See you later, guys.
Magic.